Hello, everybody. Welcome to this new episode of The White Walker. Without one White Walker, Rebecca, but with the other White Walker, Richard. And I'm joined today by Martin Lewis.
Hello.
Hello, Martin.
Hello, Richard.
You've very kindly agreed to join me today to just try this new format, try this microphone, headphone technology, which I am not used to, and discuss your Dalek deck with us, a little bit about your Dalek experience, and maybe just have a game with your deck.
Okay, yeah. Good to know that you're moving into the future and using those headphones.
It's a scary world, I tell you, a very scary world. Right, so I've got your deck up on my screen, and I think this will be visible in the video. And we have a bouncing summer deck, which you went 6-2 at the Starlek.
Yeah, yeah. It's more the deck that got me the 6-2 and some lovely opponents. I don't think I got to 15 power that many times as well. I think a lot of the opponents just conceded as I was ahead.
Yeah.
But I wasn't getting to 15.
Well, the fact that you were ahead and they didn't feel like they were going to win within the time period.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it wasn't. So it wasn't like a deck that I've got loads of renown and I'm going to get to 15. It was much more. There's a lot of very strong decks out there, and this was a good counter to a lot of them. It was probably the deck that I could find that would counter the most different styles of decks, if you know what I mean.
Yes. Yeah, Stark have always been very balanced, and I guess that's why you picked them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I mean, I know some players are more reactive, and some players like to play decks that would like to bully more.
Yeah.
Like when Matt Herdman Payne played the Greyjoy Fealty at UK Nats.
Yeah.
Was a switch for him in terms of styles, and I think he said in his write-up as well that he wanted to play a bully deck, and I did try it, but it's just not my style. I have to be more reactive and kind of controlling. I think that's probably from playing Martell a few years ago for a certain amount of time.
That's fair. Not everybody can play a Greyjoy deck aggressively and do well with it. You know, like Alex from France has mastered that,
Yeah.
and a lot of players can play the same deck and not get the same results.
It's not as easy as it looks.
It's not, no.
Yeah, I mean, people call it easy mode. I've never been able to complete easy mode. So
Well, maybe you just need to get good.
I'm better on hard mode.
Oh, really? Well, all right. So
Terrible.
let's talk about your deck then, Martin. Where do you want to start?
Um, it's not the deck I wanted to build or play for Starlek, um, because I enjoyed playing the Targ Mummers in the Northampton Regional. And the main reason I played that deck was because it had 27 new cards in it, including duplicates. And I wanted to play with as many new cards as possible after not playing for such a long time. So I wanted to do the same for Starlek, and I'd been testing a lot of the new Night's Watch cards like Samwell, and the Steward attachment, stuff like that.
Not great ranging.
Great ranging, of course, and
Yeah.
I tried a number of versions of that, which I'm sure most people have, with
Yeah.
whether it was Prince or Aloof or Reigns. But Aloof is definitely the best option, and you can also fetch your Maesters, outwit resets that you kind of force your opponent into playing.
Yeah.
So it felt like a good deck, but with it being a wall deck and with the possibility of facing a lot of Greyjoy Fealty and Victarion, I'll just kneel your wall. I didn't really fancy relying on the wall to gain me power, and there's not much other power gain within that deck except for maybe the Lord Commander.
I mean, great ranging are pretty good in the mirror against the wall deck because that assault keyword, which is seen to be everywhere in a Night's Watch deck now, just blanks the wall, gets rid of the strength pump, and of course the power gain.
Yeah, so I don't think the wall. It's a big investment. It's not reducible with Fealty. Not that you're going to need that.
But you probably play for the realm. that plot.
Yeah, you'd have to. Yeah, you'd have to play two of those in, or at least one of those in the deck.
Yeah.
But then I was building a new Stark deck for Darwin, my son who's just started playing, because I'm trying to move him away from Stark Crossing and just to get him to play a different style.
Yeah.
And Fealty is what I built. So this is why obviously there's the new kind of the German winter deck, the Car Stark Fealty, which I think that's what you're going to see a lot more of online or in tournaments. So the reason this isn't that is because I specifically built this for my son, who this has more of the characters that he had in the Crossing deck. I did build a couple of winter decks. I think I shared those lists with yourself, and you looked at them, didn't you?
Yep. Yeah.
Which were more aggressive decks.
Yeah, they definitely focused a little bit more on the attrition side of things with Cast Arc and just making sure the opponent didn't have the chuds. But this one is a little bit more constructive. It's very much a mid-range deck. Yeah,
more about control, kind of like I guess very similar to the deck that Whammer took to UK Nats. Those kind of decks.
Yeah.
Although I can't really remember those lists.
So
that's the basic idea really, and then I was testing this for my son online, and it was just handling all those Mummers decks and Greyjoy Fealty, all those kind of decks that were quite troublesome. It handled quite well, but I definitely got some help from a few people on this deck, such as yourself. Chris Mewson as well helped out. And I had a really good tip from David Tesmeyer as well.
Yeah.
And that's where the Withering Cold came in.
Nice.
Because that's the best target to deal with Tyrell Many-Faced God. Because if you open Withering Cold and they open Late Prince, then there is no standing phase for them to trigger Late Prince.
Oh, that is nice. That is nice. I like that.
Yeah. That was just the idea that came from some of the German guys that I build decks with.
Did you play against the Tyrell Many-Faced God?
I played against Tyrell Aloof.
But not the Many-Faced God Randall variant. You didn't play that as Dalek.
Not the Many-Faced God Randall variant. This was the Tyrell Aloof Randall variant. But they weren't expecting Valar Morghulis.
No, so looking at your deck, the first thing I look for really are the surprise inclusion that you wouldn't normally expect in a Stark Fealty deck. And the first thing that springs to my mind is Valar Morghulis and 3 Bodyguard.
Right, yeah.
So, 3 Bodyguard kind of signals that you're probably playing Valar Morghulis. I would say.
Also signals that you're running a hell of a lot of Lords and Ladies. It's just an extra duplicate straight away for your opponent's Valar Morghulis.
Mm-hmm.
And then any tricks that people have got, such as kill effects, poison coin. Rob generally doesn't like Tears of Liss, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So initially, it's there to help against opponents' resets and opponents' kill effects, but it also then allows me to switch from Valar Dohaeris to Valar Morghulis, because claim isn't necessary if you've got a whole heap of renown. And initially with the Valar Morghulis, I was running the claim increase card, so 2 Winter is Coming and the Shadow of the North, which obviously you lose Shadow of the North on your Valar Morghulis flip, but if you can increase your claim, just to take that one character off the board or whatever, then
big surprise, because the opponent often unopposes it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then you go, well, I think I'll have a bit of claim there. So that was that was game winning in quite a few of the matchups. It wasn't expected. It wasn't expected against Greyjoy Fealty. In fact, he flipped the Greyjoy Fealty opponent. Ketal flipped. He assumed I was going to flip Valar Dohaeris, so he flipped his Return to the Fields. But I was just a bit more patient, probably, and just saved it till next turn when I had more duplicates, and that took that game.
Patience is a virtue. If you can always hold off playing your reset for an extra round later, it normally works out better for you.
Well, this is the trick with the emergency button. Always say to yourself, can my opponent win next round? And also ask, can I lose next round? Because they are kind of like similar, but they are different. If if you can hold on for another round, hopefully they're going to flip their reset counter, whether it's that's outwit, return to the fields, or their own Valor de Harris. You want to try and get that out of the way.
Yep.
Sometimes they also telegraph that they're going to do that by sitting on a load of gold and not marshalling something. And I'll just sit on the gold for this round, like as if they've got tricks. But really they're just trying to protect their board, ready for a possible reset that they're expecting.
Yeah, or they'll give you an unnecessary military challenge win, and they'll kill off one of their unique chud, and it seems that was a bit too easy. What's going on here? They're going to reset.
Yeah, for sure. That was a nice one. A Time of Wolves into Greywind.
Yep.
That I don't think I once triggered a Time of Wolves into Summer. It was always Greywind. Greywind cancelled so much stuff on the day. Triggers such as Hagen's Daughter. What's the little? Is it not Kedri? Kerwin? Maester Kerwin?
What, the Greyjoys?
Yeah.
Yes, Maester Kerwin.
Cancelling him. Ghost of High Heart. Satin Stand. Aemon Save. So many things he was cancelling. I think.
I mean, he's so good at cancelling that people forget that he provides stealth.
Yeah. But the main card that you bring back to hand when you use Greywind, hopefully, if you've got him on the board, is Summer, so you can re-trigger Summer over and over.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I would be tempted to play 61 cards, and if I did, Summer would be 3 of. That's my own personal preference when I play these decks. But, I can see it's not been a problem for you. You can return Greywind to your hand anyway. You don't have to return Summer. So it sounds like it's done well for you, given the name of your deck list.
Yeah, it was it was kind of like the fun part of the deck, really. Everything else was quite straightforward. Every time you've got a card in Shadows, people think it's Mira, although most of the time it was one of the Bolton Flayers just waiting for the right opportunity to come out. But the different part of the deck, the fun thing, was definitely Greywind.
The fun thing was ruining my opponent's life. Yeah, well done.
It's more control. So if you look at the control, you've got Winterfell, you've got Cat, you've got Nightmares, you've got Milk, Frozen Solid, Mira, and then Greywind, which just repeatedly gives you Summer back. Last Half Scouts.
Yep.
Barring the gates, there's a lot of control in there.
There is. Let's talk about another plot, which is surprising, and that is A Clash of Kings. Seemed a little bit retro, this. You don't really see Clash around ever since the Corset days. But you've opted for this non-initiative plot, presumably as a finisher.
Well, if your opponent's going to finish, I'll flip that so I can at least have a little play about before they can finish, or try and affect it, to stop them finishing. But I think with the Maiden, you've got 11 initiative there, which is going to beat most decks, and essentially on your power turn it's 2 claim. And it's amazing how many times people will do a power challenge at you. Yeah. I mean, maybe not at Starlek, but if you're playing online, people will just throw a power challenge at you. You'll just win it, take it back, and then maybe you can find a trigger to use Rob to stand your board and do your own power challenge as well.
Definitely worth just using a Northern Armory on defense just to drain some extra power. Yeah,
Northern Armories as well with all the assault. You just and also with the Smith. You're using them up pretty swift. You don't hang about with the Northern Armories anymore.
You play them and use them.
Yeah. I think I saw you mention that in one of your videos recently, actually.
Possibly. It's been a long time since we've done a video. We did record the regional, but then the restricted list made all the game kind of outdated. Yeah. So we didn't really do the rest. But, I've got opinions,
Yeah. Well, I think also a Clash of Kings, and when you're running a full set of winter plots, you're not really going to be winning initiative that much.
No.
So I think just initiative is quite important. Withering Cold offered more initiative, so you get 8. Obviously, if you open Maiden, then you're getting 8 initiative on Withering Cold, and just to have 9 initiative on a Clash of Kings. So
Yeah.
in the cut game, when I got dumped out, very fairly, of course, it was the one plot that I could play and just go, you know what? Before I bow out, I'm going to have a turn before my board gets intimidated by Bob and his Warhammer. I'm just going to have a turn, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was nice. It was worth the inclusion just for that last game.
Shall we touch upon Bolton Flayer, an unusual card for a good stuff start list, generally found in more the attrition-based one. What's your thoughts there?
It's a good stuff card. I mean, I can tell you what it does in this deck, for this deck, and then obviously the reason why it was put in there and what it counters. But for this deck alone, I can trigger it to stand my board on a Withering Cold turn, for example.
Yep.
I can trigger it to bin off like Rickon or Mirror or something, and bring them. You know, if they've got a Milk on or Mirror with a Milk or something, and bring them back again with Summer. Also, Arya, when she goes down to if Arya goes down to just one, no duplicate,
Yeah.
you can kill Arya, and then bring her back again with Summer, and then put another duplicate on. So it did do things, and it did do things in this deck. Again, with Wyman, allows you to draw a card.
Yes.
So it does do things in this deck without affecting your opponent that benefit you. But yeah, the main reason to include it was obviously for Fools and for Night's Watch cards such as Satin, Aemon, characters like that.
The Cannot Be Saved is pretty strong.
Yeah, it's really good. And it's an intrigue icon as well.
Yeah, that's very valuable, especially the military intrigue icon as well. Because Dark do have some intrigue powers in Wyman and Cat and Willa. So.
And if you've got Winterfell, it's strength 4.
Yeah, pretty strong.
It's not bad. I mean, often I think I marshalled one maybe once, but you'd always just put it in shadows and wait for the right time.
That's right.
I think in one game, it would have been the final game against Night's Watch Aloof. A German player called David who plays online, I think WGB or WBG.
Okay.
I actually worked on the deck with him as well. He watched a lot of my games when I was playing Night's Watch. So it was kind of funny that we were sat against it, playing opposite each other. It was his first Starlock, and he was like, "I'm too tired to play in the cut," and I was like, "Oh, I really like him." But he did make a couple of mistakes. So he did round 1. He did a military against me. I did a military against him after he'd already knelt Eamon for an intrigue challenge. So I did the military against him, and he killed his steward. He killed his steward at the what are they called? The Night's Watch stewards?
Yeah, steward at the wall. The one cost
Steward
reducer.
Wall, yeah. If he'd have killed any of his other 2-cost characters, which weren't really that important, other than Satin, then I couldn't have flayed Satin. But obviously he killed the cheap one, so I could bring the Flayer out, and then the Flayer could just do his work.
Yeah, I guess he wasn't expecting to see the Flayer.
No, people like I say, everyone thinks it's Mira. Well, that's Mira. But no, the Flayer did a lot of work against Martell, against Jacob's Martell.
Yeah.
Round 1, I managed to flay Shagwell, which allowed me to flay Ricasso round 2, and
a dream scenario.
Yeah, I mean, he even admitted in the game that he was tilted, but it was still, when you're playing against Martell, we were right at the end. The time had been called. I believe time had been called, and I'm there. I'm like, which challenge do I do to try and push this through? Because he's on his Annals turn, and all the events are in the discard pile. So it was that was quite tough. the key thing in that game as well was frozen solid on water gardens.
Yeah, Frozen Solid seems like it could be a really important card at this stage of the game, especially with Randall and Old Town going nuts and plenty of impactful location to put it on.
Yeah. So, what other start? Let's have a look. So you've got
Were there any card
so
that disappointed you, Martin?
any cards that disappointed me?
Yeah, any that you feel underperformed?
Right, let's have a look then. Sorry, I'd gone off the deck to look at Dom's deck. So I'll just look at mine again.
I mean, I know Rob Dark is your choice of restricted card.
Yeah, he was brilliant. He was Rob was the one that was standing my board after Withering Cold.
Yeah.
And he was a body with renown, and the deck's full of renown. So let's have a look. Okay, so 2 Bran. Bran was okay. Bear Island Scouts, probably the card that let me down in terms of their trigger. But then again, I'm not running a lot of Mormont cards, so I think
Just
usually
have more Bear Island Scouts to find and Daisy by the look of it.
Yeah, but I think on the day they just failed virtually every time. Which in testing they didn't. They would usually be grabbing me a Daisy duplicate. I think in one game I managed to play 1 Bear Island Scout and I managed to trigger it, so I ended up with like 3 Daisy in hand, using different Bear Island Scouts in summer and whatnot. But other than that, I think they were pretty lackluster in terms of their trigger throughout the day. But that didn't matter too much because they're loyal, so they cost 1. And you can kill them with Wyman Mandalay. You don't miss them, and then you can bring them back with Summer.
Yeah.
So they were fine. Wyla Mandalay, I didn't get to trigger her that much. I do like her trigger to place a card back in my deck, under my deck. She's going to be a lot better with the Wolf's Den.
Yes, agreed.
She'd probably be worth looking at playing ×3
Yeah.
at that point. Rickon would have been really good, but in my cup game against Barakahor, I saw him straight away and I thought, oh, this is great. But I think he literally marshalled a milk onto Rickon, my opponent. And he was very disappointed that he had to do that. I think I had Rob Stark on the board and he still milked Rickon.
That's crazy.
Not with the agenda, not with Cahor, just marshalled the milk on.
These are the tough decisions you have to make to get through the Starlet Cut.
Yeah. Well, also 2 Smith plots kneeling Winterfell was pretty tough. And then Cats was also knelt. So all my nope triggers were kind of dealt with either the Smith, Milk, Melisandre. Although cancelling Melisandre was quite nice. Also cancelling... He took Davos back to hand on Marvala Magullis' turn without allowing me the chance to cancel with Grey Rin. But I just said, "Can I ask where you've put your where you put him?" And he said, "Oh, took him back to hand." I says, "No, I want to cancel that with Grey Wind because you do your saves first, and then you kill everyone or whatever."
That's right.
But no, it was a nice game. And here's the thing. I mean, we spoke about. It's one of the things that we spoke about with this deck is how do we handle negs in this deck?
Mm-hmm.
And I think your reply to me when we were testing was, "Oh, I just kill them or sacrifice them with John and then bring them back with close call." But I wasn't running close call.
Or Summer.
Yes, you're not bringing Rob or Eddard or Wyman back with Summer. But I didn't want to run close call because all the other plots felt more important to me. Helicopters going over. Can you hear that?
No, can't hear anything, mate. You know me, I'm deaf.
Yeah. Okay. I've just got to shoot go over.
Right, final thing then. Can we touch upon this one Wolf King? It's not a deck you see in many start good stuff. Not a card you see, sorry.
So yeah, but just to go back to the negative attachments thing, I think to make this deck slightly more competitive and to get past that cut, I probably should have been running Beyond Reproach, which doesn't help with my milks though. But just something to get rid of the negative attachments because that's what lost me the game in the cut really. So go on, you were saying.
Well, with that said, I think maybe with Rob Stark now on the restricted list, maybe it could be time to think about unrestricting Skagoth.
Maybe. I
because
mean, I
without
don't.
Rob, there is no point in Skagoth really. If it's just for attachment control, it's a little bit underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, I can't think of any use for Skagos currently. But Stark don't seem in a bad place at all. Anyway, I'm not sure. I mean, there are more interesting Stark decks that I'd like to build that I feel are restricted because of crossing and fealty.
Yes.
I think I mentioned previously, like I'd like to build a Stark Dragon Mormont deck, but I would really like to have all the Mormont characters and not really have to leave She-Bear out.
Yes, that would be nice.
Because you can pay for ice, and then ice can be fetched back with the Dance with Dragons events and stuff like that.
So Martin, are you up for playing a game on the Iron Throne and just, let us see how it works?
Can do, yeah. Let me just check. I've got the charger. Is that my thing?
Because I think that would be a nice, instructive moment for some people who might look at this deck and think, well, yeah, let's try it out.
Yeah. Do you want me to play against you or someone else?
Nah, just play against someone random and I'll watch. I'll watch the game.
Right, I'll start the game, but I'll put as a heading streaming just so that the person knows, I guess.
Sounds good.
And I'll mute spectators, should I?
Yeah, sure.
Well, just in case someone wants to come in and be
yeah. Just you don't want to see Creed or Kraken.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You beat me once, and I don't like it.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see how long it takes you to. Where have you gone?
I started a game. And
you left it.
And I left it because I was pressing start and it didn't start. So.
Because no one joined.
Right. There you go.
Right. Yeah. I wonder how long it will take for you to get an opponent. Sometimes when you start a game, it takes a few minutes for somebody to arrive.
Want to know anything about Starlock then while we wait?
Sure. Yeah.
It's got loads of stairs. They're still there.
I was going to say, how I hear it was raining quite considerably.
I think I missed all the rain. Just a spot of spitting, but it wasn't too bad. Getting there was a bit troublesome because there was chemical spillage on the train line. So all the trains were out and there was no banter bus this year. So George and I think we had to wait for about an hour to get a taxi from the airport, and we rang about 10 companies. So that was
sounds
so
rubbish.
I had a bit of trouble getting there.
I hear George forgot his passport, and he was delayed.
Yeah, he got there in the end.
All right.
We've got Alex.
We have Alex 75. I'm assuming not the Alex from France.
No, I think this is a new player. I've played him a few times.
Okay.
Let me just. He's on a fast deck.
Oh, it's nice that Cherub Willie has joined the game as a spectator too.
Okay, I'm just going to say, do you mind if I stream? I'm definitely not keeping this starting hand if he wants to carry on, because it's just 2 bodyguards. Oh, did I do open hands?
You did not.
Well, I guess that wouldn't be fair on them either, anyway, would it? So I've got. I can't start with this. It's cats. Last half scouts, which I'm not too fussed about in this matchup. Sansa, Flair, Rob. It's just no good.
Okay.
So let's just mulligan and hope for the best. Okay, so we've got some economy this time. I've got Wyman, Rob, Mira, Northern Armory, Sansa Stark, and an Old Gate. So I'm probably going to put out the Old Gate, Northern Armory, stick Mira into Shadows, and put Sansa out. And then the 4th card is the last half scouts, which don't think I'm fussed about in this matchup.
Probably not. That's a 7 gold worth of setup, but 4 cards.
Yeah.
And you got 2 bigs in hand, along with your redraw for whatever else you get. It's nice to have.
Sometimes I'll actually set Mira up, just if I think there might be a marched or something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, This is
So it
what you
looks
want
like
your
we have some sort of aggro ranger crossing, perhaps.
Yeah, could be a fast deck. I'm literally just going to go and open the maiden. I'm not desperate for anything. I don't need to put stealth onto Sansa, um, and I've not really got anything on the board like Rickon for Heir to the Iron Throne. I could open Withering. It's I
That
do
was
have Rob in hand.
that would slow his location economy gaining for the next round.
Well, let's go with the maiden, and then I can wither next round if I've got Rob on the board.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Got some gold. Now they should put me first, really, and then they'll have hopefully in the aims of having something to claim.
Yeah, that would make sense. There's not a lot of point in going first when you're crossing and your opponent has 0 power to win in your power challenge.
Yeah. I've got Winterfell in hand. I've redrawn up into Winterfell, Nightmares, and Frozen Solid and Cat. Right, so I'm first.
So Frozen Solid might not do much work in this game. I don't think they have any important 3-cost or lower location.
I could play Nightmares onto that vault right now.
Oh, you could.
But that's expensive.
It is expensive, but it's worth
It's
2 gold to him almost every round. And you're stopping at least 4, 6, 8 gold with your little combo.
And I've drawn a Bear Island Scout, so I've got Claim Soak now as well. So I should do that for the lols. It means I'm not getting Rob out this round, but I'll get him out next round.
Well, you make your decision. We're just going to judge you.
Okay, you feel free. It's definitely so. I've got 8, 9 gold. Yeah, let's do it. Let's Nightmares that, because I have actually drawn another Frozen Solid. I've got 2.
Oh, good. Like I said, I don't think Night's Watch Crossing run too many locations that would ordinarily be a target for Frozen Solid.
I'm pretty sure this one will have Fist of the First Men in it.
Yes.
So
and it might be worthwhile freezing the Fist of the First Men too.
Yeah. So let's see if my Bear Island Scout is going to find me at least one other Bear Island Scout. That would be nice. Oh, he's a good lad.
See, it only works online, not in real life. The algorithm is kind.
I've got my cat Smokey. He's sat on my lap now, purring away. Right, let's.
I was so confused for a second. I thought you were talking about Cat Stark.
Oh, well, I do have Catelyn Stark here on the board. Sorry, not on the board, in my hand. If I play her, I don't have enough gold for Mira. Mira might be good if he's going to all of a sudden marshal Great Ranging.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to get some more characters on the board. Oh, hello.
Another one.
Yeah. So I've now got all 3 of my Bear Island Scouts, which is wonderful. I've got 3 golds worth here. I've got Mira in Shadows, who I can stand with my Northern Armory. I'm probably not going to do any challenges, but well, maybe I might do. I can always blank Aemon, so I think I'll just leave it like this.
Sounds
I can't
good.
play anything out of my hand, so it'll have to be Mira. So 8 gold.
Well, let's see what Alex does. So you played Alex before. You think he's a newer player?
I believe so. I mean, I could be wrong, but I think I might have done some deck building with an Alex. I thought it was Alex 75. I'm not too sure. A while ago, and I think that was Night's Watch anyway. So there you go. Look at that for economy.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, when you're Nightmares and Frozen Solid an underground vault, you don't really want to see they get a King's Road out.
Yeah. Currently, his naive scout cannot be declared as a defender as well, and his Haunted Forest scout can't. So I could actually do a 1-strength military as it stands, and he can't declare a defender. But obviously, there's 5 more gold plus a King's Road. So
Yeah.
and is playing.
That's still enough to get a great ranging out, but not a power icon for his crossing challenge.
Yeah.
So that would be his biggest concern right now, I imagine. There we go.
Oh, there you go. And still 4 gold left.
Yeah, so he used the King's Road for that.
Yeah.
Going
Which
for
hurts
long
the
plots.
economy next round, yeah.
Because when the opponent uses up King's Road and has, for all intents and purposes, no economy on the board now, it makes resets more appealing.
Well, I mean, if he's just going to stick everything out on the board and empty his hand, oh, here we go. Don't like that. I'm tempted to blank that in the. Tempted to blank his Messenger Raven in the dominance phase, so he's not drawing cards. God, he discarded a Pip. That's a surprise, actually. Would you have discarded Pip when you can give your
the Haunted Forest Scout?
That's a surprise. So now what I can do, thinking ahead, this is always what I do in Thrones. I think about how's this looking now? What can I do next round? If I was to grab Greywind next round and then flip a reset, then obviously I can stop Eamon saving a character.
Yes, that's good.
Right, so look. I think I'd just do the intrigue because he can't defend it.
Well, he can't win and defend it. He can oppose it, but
he can oppose it, and I'd be happy for him to oppose it with Eamon.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Obviously, I'm giving them power to take back,
but you know, getting rid of 1 out of 2 cards, pretty strong. It also makes the mirror play on the Raven stronger.
Yeah.
I feel like if I was the Night Watch player, you know, I would have played the Pip and kept the Hunter and the Raven in hand, and not quite spread my board so wide.
Yeah.
So he has opposed it, so no power for him to claim on his power challenge.
I think that, obviously if you let that one go unopposed, you've got something to steal.
Yes.
If you're playing Crossing, you always want to go second round 1. That's a good hit.
Agree.
And you want to leave something unopposed. If you're not going to win it, leave it unopposed, so you've got something to claim back.
Yep.
Sure.
Are you going to leave that there? Or
because if I do a military or a power, there's a chance they'll let that go. If I do a military, I'm sure he's going to defend it. He has to defend it with his only power icon if he wants to win it, right?
Correct.
So if I do a military now, he either can't do a power, or he's going to kill the Messenger Raven.
Or he'll oppose with the whole old Forest Hunter and then kill it. I would do that rather than kill the Raven because draw.
So I'm going to do that. I don't mind him just losing a character because, like I say, I'm not going to reset next round, but I'm going to lose a character anyway.
I mean, he does have Longclaw on a Haunted Forest Scout, which is going to get 2 power every round, unless you can block it in future. So he's going to ramp up in power fairly quickly.
He is, but then again, he's got no economy, no cards. Go on, defend with a range. I think this is just a little bit of pressure.
You're forcing him to make a decision.
Yeah.
Whereas if you don't do the challenge, you know, it's a straightforward challenge phase for your opponent. But making your opponent make decisions is important. Yeah, so you haven't really lost anything after all. You haven't even given them extra power. Like I say, the Crossing player really want to introduce power into the game, so unopposed might be better.
Yeah.
So I imagine he's going to kill the old Forest Hunter.
or Raven, please. The Raven. If he kills the Raven, no, he killed the Hunter. I was going to say if he kills the Raven, I would probably blank Haunted Forest Scout, and then it would have to kneel. But then that's fine. Okay, that's it. Should I do a power?
Well, you seem to want to defend everything, which is normally a newer player strategy. A lot of newer players don't understand the value of letting things go unopposed. They feel like they have to defend everything they possibly can, or at least oppose it.
Hello.
Hello?
Why has he not gone in with the He's not gone in with the naive scout. That's an error, surely.
Why does he need to go in with the naive scout?
Why does he need to? Because he wants, if he wants to win the intrigue challenge.
Maybe he just really, really wants to win the military. He's worried about your Bolton Flare in Shadows.
Oh yeah.
Because he's read your 30B deck list. And he thinks you might have 4 strength in military, which means he might need his naive scout here.
I'm going to lose this challenge.
And then you're going to prove this wrong by not putting the naive scout in.
If he's got superior claim in hand, I can't stop it, so whatever.
So he didn't put the naive scout in, okay. Yeah, curious that he's chosen the power challenge for his crossing challenge.
Well, that's what I mean. If he'd have done the intrigue, he's still winning it anyway.
Yeah, he's done it all in the wrong order. I think power should have been first, most certainly, unless he really does have a superior claim.
I mean, fair play if he has. In a way, it just empties his hand.
Yeah, ready for a siege prep turn 2.
You think crossing runs siege prep?
Who knows?
Let's do a bit
I'm not even going to guess it. With a newer player, you can't guess.
Yeah, that Raven can stay right there. Right, so next round it looks like I just put Winterfell out. I'll go and grab
What plot?
Grey Wind, Winterfell out. So I'm going to get rid of. I've got Wyman, Rob, Cat, Winterfell. I've got another Bear Island Scout, but I'm probably going to get rid of either Frozen Solid or Last Half Scouts here. I don't think Last Half Scouts are going to be that needed in this matchup.
I would agree.
So they can go.
They might have the forest patrol, but
True.
I'm not sure that's worth being scared of.
Here's another thing you can do with this deck, and Forest Patrol would be quite good for him right now with the useless Vault. If you go and fetch Greywind, you can actually cancel your own mirror going back if you wanted to.
Nice.
Although I wouldn't.
Expensive, but nice. Gives you the option. It's good to have options.
Yeah. So if it was the barring the gates flip, you might want to do that if you really needed to keep her on the board.
Mm.
Okay, they're thinking.
Your name is in green. Does that mean you've donated to the Iron Throne?
Is it the Patreon?
Oh, okay.
Is your you have you not got your name in green?
No.
Oh, look at this. Heads on spikes. Who's he going to hit? Is he going to get my
No. Frozen Solid.
cards in my hand? He can have Wyman.
Oh, okay.
So it wants me to. It's asking me if I want to interrupt the effects of Mirror Read, and I don't. Oh, taking my. Oh, that's okay. No, no. Slowed his power gain down, I guess. How many of those do you think he's running?
How many what?
Heads.
Don't know. Crossing Rush. If you're playing at turn 2, it does kind of indicate maybe you're running another.
Okay. So I've drawn into a second cat, which helps me in my Valar Morghulis flip round 2.
Yep.
The watch apparently has need.
Oh, it has need for more rangers.
I guess so.
That's
But only 3
unfortunate.
gold.
He can pick up, just refill his hand for the next round. So, a Lost Ranger and a Haunted Forest Scout.
Yeah, I'd rather he put that one out. Because at least next round, if he's got nothing on the board, the Lost Ranger is going to be pretty sad.
Yeah.
Okay, so cat duplicate. Now, can I afford to leave Mirror in Shadows and blank the Messenger Raven again in the dominance phase and lose Mirror to Valar Morghulis 2? I think I probably can.
I take it you haven't drawn a summer yet?
No, I haven't. In my hand, I've got Daisy, Bear Island Scout, Winterfell, Rob and Wyman. Rob and Wyman aren't coming out until later on. I'd probably like to not lose the Bear Island Scout for intrigue claim here, just because it's going to be useful.
Yeah, repopulate. Find Daisy. Well, you know you're going to whiff, but...
Well, I've got 2 more monk cards left in the draw deck, and that's 2 copies of Daisy.
Okay.
So, what do you think they should? How should they approach this round?
Well, I think if I was the Night's Watch player, I would just probably do all 3 challenges and get as much power in the game as possible by leaving unopposed.
When are they doing the power challenge?
First, probably, because you haven't got anything to take.
Oh, that's the kind of story.
So if they just do that first, you're probably going to unoppose it, so at least be an unopposed challenge. Then the other 2 challenges come through intrigue and then military.
Letting me win the intrigue again, and I can win an intrigue on the way back. When I do my intrigue, I'll be strength 2 with stealth, with Santa.
Yeah.
So I'm winning an intrigue, which is always good. The most important challenge.
It's also slowing him down because that Longclaw is only going to get 1 power around rather than 2.
Yeah. I mean, really, I'm kind of surviving here. I'm in survival mode with plans to reset, but I think I'm probably getting away with a lot. They should be on more power by now, really.
Yeah, but I mean, your Valar Morghulis next round, he has no duplicates. You can cancel Maester Raymond. You will keep Cat, and you will have at least 4 cards in hand.
Do you think he expects my Valar Morghulis? Do you think, because obviously the list is online now, but
I wouldn't say so. And I think it's a good time to do it because he doesn't have many cards. He doesn't have much economy.
And I'm still looking like I would be quite happy flipping my own Valar de Heres.
Yes.
So I got to meet Stephen Pertain
Oh, right.
at Starlight.
Mr. Pornstash.
What a nice guy. I mean, the 3 Aussies, they're a really nice bunch. Really nice to meet them. Yes,
Yeah.
great.
I mean, I
Full of
spoke
ideas.
to him a few times on Discord calls now, and he seems relatively pleasant.
Yeah. And very young. Everyone's so young now.
Yeah, I know. It's like you don't realise how old you get until you go to Starlek and suddenly everyone's younger again.
I know.
Yeah. Never mind. Are you 40 yet, Martin?
I'm way past that.
Shit. Never mind, mate. It's okay. I'm 40 next year.
Oh, bless.
Mm.
We'll have to do something to celebrate.
Yeah, throne party.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll do something. I'm sure Rebecca will organise it.
I think there's definitely. I mean, the hunger for more Thrones tournaments has grown this year, and I think now that we've had Starlock, we should see a lot more coming at me for a 7 strength power challenge, which I'm definitely going to leave unopposed, whether he's got superior claim or not. Um, what do you think the restricted card is in this deck? Do you think it is great ranging?
Yeah, I think it is great ranging. Must be, right?
Probably. I've got to let that go, whether it's superior claim or not.
I mean, some Night's Watch Crossing decks run the wall, so he's probably running great ranging party and the wall. No superior claim.
There's going to be an unopposed here as well, isn't there? For me, I'm going to be gaining power. That's not too bad if I'm flipping Valamogulus next turn, I guess.
Yeah, he's going to go down to 5. Well, 6, because he'll win Dom. Yeah, I like your chances at this point.
You're more confident than me. This is how I like to play, though. I like to at least get down to, be 10-0 down and then take control.
Ah, that's the Martell in you.
It is, yeah. That's why I'm not really good at playing Greyjoy. I find it very hard to win initiative and say, I'll go first.
You know, going first isn't as bad as it used to be. When we started the game, going first was terrible for the first couple of years. But now with more Intimidate, with Assault, and there are decks like Cohort that love going first now with Flexible Intimidate. You've got Great John in Star, Victarion and Euron in Greyjoy. Like going first isn't really that bad anymore. Lannister have non-kneeling characters that like to go first. I think a lot of decks can make a case for it.
So have you seen what was discarded there? It was a Bogging Brother.
Yes. That's a curious addition.
Interesting for sure. Oh, he was first player, so he's used the Messenger Raven. He's back in hand. I can't use Greywind here. I'm going to need Greywind to cancel Aemon. That's a shame. Yeah, he was first player, so he's obviously took that opportunity. But then at the same time, it means I've now got Mira for the Valamogulist.
Yes. Yeah, I think it's nice to have that option because you don't know what you're going to need to blank next round.
Yeah. Well, we know 2 cards in their hand. Do you remember what the other one is? Well, obviously, we know what Messenger Raven, and the other one. Do you remember?
No. It was from the watch I'd needed at Lost Ranger.
It was the Lost Ranger,
Yeah.
So, which is a 4-strength military.
You're going to draw 2 cards as well. So you're going to have the option of 5 cards. So let's see if he plays another Heads on Spikes.
Well, here's what it is. Still not got around to playing me Withering. I'll probably play the Withering when I can get Rob and Mira onto the board and then flip Withering and then obviously try and replace Mira with Eddard. Oh, that's not very nice, is it? Trying to nail my military icons.
What a nefarious man. How rude. Luckily, you're a pacifist.
I'm going to get Greywind back as it is an interrupt. He is using Force March.
Interesting. Eh? Okay. Right,
There we go. Beautiful.
Sorry, buddy.
That's But that's a perfect example of how good that card is. It's reducible with the agenda. So two gold just to have a really strong cancel. It's the same as Mirror, except it gives you more. Well, it gives you just as much as Mirror on the board. It gives you stealth, and that stealth is brilliant on Cat. If you're facing like Core Tyrion or whatever. In like a Reigns deck. And it caught a lot of people out. It was the one card that on the day, when you marshalled it, so why doesn't he work? So, Grey win. I'll just throw it in the there so you can see.
It does say a little bit further up, reader uses Grey Wind and returns Grey Wind to their hand to cancel Maester Aemon.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it was the one card on the day at Starlight that people were like, "Oh, let's have a look at that. That's interesting." And
I guess it's not really a mainstream card that they would have seen in their testing.
Yeah, I love it. It's one of my, like how you always build a deck around a card that you really like.
Yes.
Not that you're going to build a deck around Grey Wind, but it was a card that I just thought, I want to play with this card in a deck.
You've got a synergy, haven't you? You know that you want to play a Time for Wolves, at least one copy of Grey Wind and some copies of Summer, and you've got this idea that you want to recur Summer a little bit with your Grey Wind to cancel stuff. I mean, it's just nice to have that. It's just a much better cancel than the Pack Survives, that zero cost event for Direwolves,
Exactly, yeah. And I'd also consider running like Lady or just one of the cheaper ones. At Summer, the attachment would be good if I wasn't running some of the card, just because that can obviously pull Cat into a military challenge. Right, let's have a look. So I've got 2 Daisy in hand, but if I put those out, I can't put anything else out. I've got a Bear Island Scout, which I can put out. I've got a Bodyguard I can put onto Cat.
Good.
Let's trigger it. Bear Island Scout whiffs. That's fine. Bodyguard on Cat, and I've also got Mirror, so I can cancel nobody. He's not put his he's got one gold in hand. So do you think he's running what's the put to the torch?
Maybe.
He's not going to win by far.
I'd expect he's going to play Nightmares in that deck for certain.
Yeah, because you can Nightmares your own Haunted Forest Scouts and defend.
Yeah.
I think I've done that before, especially when you've got Longclaw. So, interesting that he's not put the Messenger Raven out.
Which means he's got a use for that 1 gold.
Yeah. Maybe it's the Dom Action Lay Waste?
Probably not. I mean, there's nothing worth... I mean, you could lay waste your old gate if you really want to. Is that worth it? I don't know. Maybe he'll lay waste your Frozen Solid.
Well, I don't need the draw at the moment, so what am I... I've got Rose Roads, so I could probably just grab a Rose Road if he did do that. So I can win this challenge. That seems...
Yeah, you should.
Is there a... you can ambush something, but I don't know. The Practice Blade is 2 costs to ambush, is it not?
Correct. Yeah, you might as well defend this. You've got no claim.
Okay.
So are you going to ambush Mirror and get an unopposed challenge, win dominance? Oh, you won't win dominance if you get Mirror in, but then play Withering Cold?
Withering Cold, yeah. So this is where Shadow of the North is good in a deck when you've got on your Valar Morghulis, and if they've just got the 1 character. But I mean, I'm not really going to use it. I think I'm not going to get the unopposed. I'm just going to stop them from getting Dom.
Fair.
Possibly. So I'll just at this point. Well, I guess what I could have done is actually just got Dom myself.
Yeah, but you can't now.
Yeah, no. So yeah, that's an error on my behalf there. Bringing Mira out to do a challenge, which I'm not bothered to do. What I should have just taken Dom. But there you go.
This is why we have repetitions, I suppose, especially for less experienced players. Could they be much more likely to make that kind of error?
Yeah. Well, actually, I mean, I'm not doing bad, not making any mistakes, because usually I think with having conversation, I would probably make an error. I think I'm going to get rid of Winterfell. I don't think I need it in this matchup. And then that leaves me with the 2 copies of Dacey, Rob, and Wyman.
Okay.
I've got Greywind, I've got Cat, and I've got Mira. So I don't think. David's joined.
He has.
So yeah, Winterfell.
I know exactly what he's saying. He thinks you're obsessed with the game. You can't,
no, it's because
you said that you were going to take a break, right?
Which I was doing. I even told you I was going to take a break, but you asked me to just.
Are you kidding me, Martin? You begged me to do this.
No, I did not. Let me just say. Right then. You can stream it. You can do his deck if you like. I'm sure you'll enjoy that. Right. Taxation phase. Right. So what did I say I was going to do? Withering Cold.
Withering Cold.
Withering Cold kind of suits me. So it's 5 gold. I've got 5, 6, 7, 8. That means I can get Rob out, just Rob, and I can also bring Mira back out of shadows. It means no Greywind. It means not getting Dacey out this round, but I guess that's okay. Let's see what they've got. Seems like the best thing to do. Let's do it.
Well, you don't need to play Rob this round, do you?
Shall we just see what they're going to do? I'm not going to put the pressure on them. I don't want to give them 2 power to claim, for example. So Alex can go first.
Yeah. You're going to have enough claim soak for a 2-claim military if you play the Duke Dacey.
Yeah.
You could play the Duke Dacey, have enough money for Mira and Greywind. 5, 6,
yeah,
7,
and then
8.
possibly then I can lose Mira next round for Rob. Anyway, Rob can appear. Oh, I'll tell you what I've just drawn. Winterfell Steward, claim soak, and
Perfect.
Summer.
Oh, perfect. So yeah, you can use the Steward and get whatever out you want.
Well, I've got 2 Bear Island Scouts in the dead pile, with 1 Mormont card left in the deck. We're definitely winning a military here by the looks of it.
Yeah, but you're going to have to commit into your Withering Cold.
Yeah.
And he's prioritising renown over more characters.
So we'll have this guy here.
Now, are you going to kneel your faction card this round?
Well, I'm thinking about that because Dacey, what strength can I get Dacey up to here? So I can't afford, if I knelt my faction card and if I knelt the Winterfell Steward, that would leave me with 4 gold. With Mira, I'm still not getting anything else in because I've got Rob, who's 6 cost. So I think
you don't need to.
Mira's 1, 2, 3. Mira's going to be 5 strength. So
Mira, you mean Dacey?
Dacey, sorry. I
Yeah.
think that's probably the best thing to do, right?
She's got a dupe. It gives you more options for claim.
No, let's not kneel him. I'll save him. But she can come in. And if he does kneel everything, I'm going to kill one of his characters here. So
Yes.
okay. And I could, if he goes in for 3 strength on, if he's not going to go fully committed on the military anyway, I'm going to win it. So let's do that. Hello, pussycat. This is where we flip the game. This is where we turn it round. What's he going to name? Ladies. He's named Ranger.
Shame.
I think they're probably going to want to be more aggressive. What do you think?
Yeah. The one card I'll be worried about at the moment is put to the sword. Save 2 gold. Didn't want to play out a character up to the cost of 4. I think he's got a plan for that gold. So yeah. I am suspecting maybe a put to the sword. Which you can stop. But no, doesn't want to play it. So I'm not sure why.
Okay. Well, I'm going to do an intrigue with Cat.
Can your opponent really not have any cards in that 5-card hand? He had no economy to play out, no character costing 4 or lower to play out. His hand must be very bad.
In luck here, to be honest. Really, what they need to do is just put pressure on. Make it look as if you're going to do something.
Yeah, with 2 claim as well, that is high pressure.
When you're sitting on 2 gold on Night's Watch with Rangers, you're definitely trying to let your opponent think that you're running put to the sword or bound to the wall or something, and force me into making a few. But maybe it's not plot.
Maybe you've got the Raven. So he didn't want to play the Raven either.
Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the Raven. Who should I blank here? No one. Doesn't really matter.
It does not matter. Don't blank the lost guy.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to blank anyone.
Blank yourself. Get rid of your stuff.
So
are you going to do a military challenge?
I'm going to do military.
Knowing that the Watchers on the Wall could be a thing.
This is true. What do I lose? I lose a dupe on Daisy. He kneels both of his characters. I think I can handle losing a dupe on Daisy and Mira.
Yeah, you got somewhere in hand.
Exactly. And I'm going to stealth the Lost Rangers, so hopefully he kneels the Raging Party, and then I've got a free power challenge.
Yes, that is good play.
So either way, Daisy will survive. I'll get a power on her. And then I've got a free power challenge, which puts him down to 5. Okay, so no actions.
Unless he's going to do it after declaring defenders.
No, it's all been passed.
Okay.
So I go in for my 1 strength power now to just kneel that dude out.
You'll get a renown for it.
Or get
but it is Withering Cold. I think this Alex is definitely respecting your plot.
Yeah. I mean, as you can't, I would respect it if I had to play against it. There you go. He's taking the renown. That's fine. So still ahead.
Do you think Alex is running a reset Valadi perhaps?
Not sure. I'd probably wouldn't be too. Oh, here we go. What we're gonna
lay waste.
Okay. What can I grab? Let's have a look and see what I've got.
What, 0 cost?
It's the Rose Road, really.
Mm-hmm.
But it helps me.
Yeah, not a bad thing. He's basically saying, I want 2 gold around, you can have an extra 1 gold around.
Yeah. And now that I've attacked the hand anyway, I feel bad that they've not really optimized, you know, their actions and challenges. I think I could have been put a lot more under pressure, really. But maybe it's a new deck for them.
Yeah, maybe.
Right, so it's got to be Heir to the Iron Throne.
That would be the best choice?
Do you think they might flip bar in the gates?
No.
That's like asking Kevin Keegan, do you think we'll score it? Do you think we'll score this penalty? Okay, so I've selected Heir to the Iron Throne. I hope. Let me check. Yeah, I have. How many times have you thought you were selecting your winner, your die, and you've flipped barring?
Not that example, but there are some plots that look fairly similar.
I think though on a small screen, those 2 plots always look really similar to me, and I've done it so many times. I've literally opened your winner, your die. Oh, there you go. There on your winner, your die. Beautiful.
That's the restricted card of choice.
Yeah, I need to fetch. So 37 cards here. I really need to see my. I really need to see my Rob here. There he is. Right.
Good lad.
The whole lot lights up now, so I've got to kind of close it all. And Rob's in. We're going to lose Mira. Rob's going to stand the board, and it's happy days. And Mira can come back with Summer, and I've got a dupe for Rob in hand.
Very, very nice.
So, what reset do you think they're on?
Probably VD, if any.
Okay. Well, I've drawn a dupe for Daisy, so I'll leave that in hand. Although I probably want to keep her and Rob. If I'm going to put Rob out now, I'd probably keep those 2 on the board for VD.
Yeah, you can reappropriate Cat's bodyguard after if they're with the VD.
I've also got Small John Umber. That's another card that you can. I know sometimes you don't want to blank him because of his renown, but really late in the game, if you need the strength, I've blanked him with Mira. Right, so 8 gold's worth. Definitely think.
We don't want to commit with Wyman, I don't think. Or do you?
I think Wyman's going to come out next round.
Yeah, and that's what I think.
Do double Rob. I'll have double stealth on Rob. So Summer comes in for Mira, and I think I just put Mira on the board.
You've used both of your winter plots, haven't you?
Yeah, and my next one is barring, which is not terribly handy, but that's fine. I think she's better on the board in this round because I can't. Oh no, if I put her out.
I think 2 claim military with that stealth on the board is going to be very impactful. Oh wait, you don't have winter coming, do you?
No, I don't have 2 claims.
Oh. You're going to get at least 1 claim, yeah.
And this, at least here, it means I can't get Mira out next round if I flip barring next round. But I'm probably going to try and I'm going to flip. I'll probably flip Clash of Kings next round. To be honest with you, try and pump up the catch up a little bit more. So there you go, done. And at least now I've pumped up Mira's Daisy's strength a bit.
Okay.
Pump it up.
The knife board you've got there.
Yeah, and I kept the Winterfell Steward stood just in case he put 6 cost Yoren out.
Yeah, that is special.
Oh, look at this.
Oh.
I mean, if you're putting tons of gold on this guy.
Oh, he only wanted 1 to cancel your Rob trigger, didn't he?
I've triggered him once.
This round you have, but I mean, putting 2 gold on it indicates you're going to cancel your rob trigger for the next 2 rounds, which is probably an optimistic view on matters.
So I can win an intrigue with Mira. Not that that matters too much because he's got 0 reserve.
You can win all the challenges
Um,
and win Dom and get renown ×2.
yeah, so I don't have to. I can leave Shaggy Dog. I can leave Summer and Bear Island Scouts for. Yeah, well, that's fine. Okay. So
Well, you probably want to kneel Summer, right? Because
Do
if you
I?
have to return him to hand, you might as well have used him.
well, I was gonna. Okay, so Rob and Daisy, I was just going to throw into one challenge, but I guess that's power and military. So I'll do the military with Rob, and I get that unopposed. I want to use Daisy in a challenge. Leave Cat stood, so Cat's going to defend whatever the Begging Brother does, and the Summer and Bear Island Scout will defend whatever Gren does. So I can just do 3 challenges. The military, which is going to be unopposed. Is he going to kill the ranging party?
Got renown on it. People don't like to do that.
Yeah.
He might kill Gren.
Yeah. I feel bad now. And a reset's not great for them next round with the 0 reserve.
Yeah, pretty bad. Rebecca's frowning at me.
I'd feel better at this stage if I was ahead on points.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
What? How did you hear that?
Because I'm not deaf like you.
Oh, she's not deaf apparently.
Oh shit! Oh sorry. Oops, I misclicked there.
Martin, you've become one of those guys that misclick.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's mandatory, isn't it?
And? Yeah, did kill Gren.
Okay. Likes his Begging Brother.
You know what? Rebecca's walked in here, left the door open, making a draft. How rude. You are the best.
My first game.
What?
I don't know. We've played loads. I'm sure we have.
Cool. So, what's next? Power. Daisy.
Yeah, power. Yeah, I've definitely played this guy before because he says that a lot. I'm sure he says that to everyone.
What's that? You are the best.
Best, yeah. But I think I remember when he first started playing. We went onto Discord and had a long chat about decks and whatnot, which is something I always try and do with new players anyway.
Oh, very nice.
So I'm gonna apply claim this time. And then we'll just go for, might as well have an unopposed intrigue. Unless they've got Gren. No. I guess Gren would have been good here because then at least it would have been a character on the board as well. You wouldn't put it back to hand with 0 reserve.
Yeah.
Outside of Stark Fealty, Night's Watch are actually my favourite faction to play at the moment.
Why? That's just wrong. They're not even fun.
I don't know, I quite like Bowen Marsh is just amazing.
Bowen Marsh is good. Yeah, Night's Watch
And
Range is the only deck I've really ever played.
and I really do like Here to Serve and Outwit.
Yeah. You know what I really like in Night's Watch? Othel Yarwick.
Yeah, he's a really good times one, especially for like in a Prince deck for great ranging.
Yeah.
Right, so just quickly looking here, I've got 3 cards in hand. I've got plenty of econ. I don't think I need to use my old gate here. I think I can probably, even if they reset, I'd rather have the gold to put out what I've got in my hand.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to keep I'm going to keep that.
You are now in command. You should probably win with Clash.
Um, yeah. So, well, I've got another renowned character in my hand, so a power challenge with Clash now would finish it. But let's see what they do as a reset. It must be running a reset. Oh, look at that!
Watch on the walls.
Uh,
Anna Yoren.
Oh yeah, the other one.
Little Yoren. Well, yeah, that hand wasn't very hopeful.
No, but he could have. I don't know. Like you wonder when he had the Watcher on the walls if he.
You probably
he
just got it with the You Win or You Die. He just drew 4 cards.
Yeah, so there's Gate to the Moon. I'm not really running lots of events. Yeah, I don't think he's had the best hand, really, to be honest, which is unfortunate. Watcher, don't be rude.
Alright,
Oh, yeah.
just carry on.
Yeah, sorry. You can have list. I always give the list out. Anyone asks?
Okay, so Clash.
Sorry.
You will be if you do that one more time.
Oh, I think I'll have to go first here. So her strength is going to go down somewhat.
Yes.
So I'm really depending on Rob's stealth here.
Yes. Like you say, you've got characters in hand. Do you have an intrigue icon, Wyman?
I do, yeah.
Mm.
But
But not a lot else.
I've got Small John.
Oh, of course.
And I've got a Daisy Jeep, which I was saving, but I could have just put that on.
Small John will do it.
Select bottom order, deck order. I'm not really bothered, but I will click Summer, Mirror, Scouts, Cats, Chud. And the Bodyguard back in hand. But I mean, I've drawn Cat again. They might just quit, I guess, depending on what they've drawn.
Wow, they're unlikely to draw loads of power icon.
I can get Cat on the board as well, so I've got 8.
8 resources.
Look at him, 1 strength.
Yeah, but renown.
Yeah. So I've just got to make sure that I don't try and cancel anything. Oh, yeah.
Concedes and you win.
Yeah.
So that was a look at your deck. That looked, yeah, I mean, it started pretty slowly, to be honest. But you pulled it out of the bag. The reset turned the game around. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah, the reset is. I mean, at Starlek, I think the reset did that in many games. The Greyjoy Lion, the Greyjoy Fealty, the Tyrell Aloof one, I was kind of in control of that, but it gave me about 3 power. Um, so yeah, I think it's just maybe people will start expecting it a bit more. I tell you why I wanted to run it actually. When I went to Norway to play over there,
Yeah.
I played Sophie, and she was on Start Crossing, and I
Yes.
just put loads of characters out, thinking because I just played Start Crossing round one. I put loads of characters out, thinking Vala de Harris, because obviously that's what you expect, and they were playing it round one as well. Um, Elise played it round one, and
Mhm.
then I was really on top in the game. I had Azora High Reborn, loads of power, and she flipped Vala Morgullis, and then that totally turned the game for Sophie. And I was kind of like, do you know what? It's brilliant. It's good to see a new player being brave enough to play Vala Morgullis in a
Yeah.
deck. Well, it's not usually what they play. Um,
Excellent.
so yeah, that was quite inspirational. It's nice to be inspired by you know new players as well.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can wrap up this segment now. So
Can I not play that ever again then?
yeah, you can, but not right now because bedtime.
We can go play some Night's Watching.
All right, so thanks for coming onto the channel and showing us the deck. Yeah, maybe you can come on another time and show us something else.
Maybe we could do some fun decks.
Yeah,
Not
definitely.
one,
Not
that's more of a no for, but
not mamas or anything like that.
yeah. I mean, ask what your viewers want to see. Do they want to see you look at meta decks or just more fun, creative decks? Do they want to see you actually build a deck live? From a fresh idea, or
I suspect people don't ever want to see me do anything ever again. To be honest, I think they'll prefer Rebecca and her charming personality as opposed to me and my acerbic nature.
We want to see you dressed up in that snakeskin outfit again.
Right, on that note, I'll see you later. Thanks for coming on.
No problem. See you later, Richard. Take
Cheers.
care. Bye, Rebecca.
She's gone.